Hey everybody, Pariah here. Hey, the new ISO-8 calendar that was advertised for us is finally released. This is going to help hopefully alleviate a little bit of the bottleneck that many of the players have felt since the May 21st blog post announcing that ISO-8 Green is now mandatory to get into the Doom raid. Now, Scopely has backpedaled a little bit on that, and after a month, they are going to be releasing the old Doom raid back that you do not need the ISO greens to get in, but you're not going to get the ISO blues. Those ISO blues are giving you far more extra power on your teams, which are making the Doom raids even more possible and more doable for many players. Plus, for higher end players, you need those ISO blues to be able to compete in Arena and War. If you do not remember, May 21st, Scopely announced that ISO-8s, the green ones, are going to be mandatory. For the first two sections of the Doom raid, you would need to have characters with at least level 4 ISO-8. And then the final three sections would need a team of 5 ISO-8s. Now, ISO-8s were not a bottleneck until this announcement came forward. People were leveling up their characters, but they were not pushing them too hard. And this upset a lot of the player base. Although the increased levels of the ISO-8s would help you get through the Doom raid and a better standing in your arena, the drop rates were not that favorable, so it was harder to get the ISO-8s that you needed. So there was no real rush. The ISO-8 was just a little bit of bonus to your team, and the players enjoyed it. Now, on this blog post on the 21st, when they became mandatory, that attitude changed for the player base. And unfortunately, it hurt a lot of the players and a lot of alliances that were playing the game. People left the game for this simple change. Now, Scopely did listen, and after about 20 days, they did announce on the 17th of May changes they were going to do to the ISO-8 green farming in order to help the player base. They also introduced a calendar event that would be coming up. They did not give a release date, but it looks like it's going to be releasing probably tonight. In the new ISO-8s, the drop rate will change from a 1x to a 2x. Not a bad thing. It's going to give you double the drop rate. We're also going to be able to farm the 12 energy nodes 20 times versus 10 times. Now, you're still going to have the energy, but if you're looking for a specific ISO-8 for a specific character or family of characters, say brawlers, you can farm it 20 times, which is going to help you. They are also doubling the ion drop rate. So instead of getting 1,000 ions per node, you're going to get 2,000. That's going to help you be able to increase the characters up. Taking somebody to level 5 ISO-8 costs a whopping 250,000 ions per character per class. So if you raise somebody to healer, it's 250,000 going from level 4 to level 5. But if you want to add striker to the same character, it's another 250,000. And this was where the bottleneck pretty much came from. But this change is good for the player base. And then on June 18th, they announced a special calendar coming in for the ISO. You will receive 40 basic ISO-8s, 10 premium ISO-8s, which does have a very low chance of dropping you ISO-8 level 5s, and 10 ion orbs. Now, these 10 ion orbs are going to drop you that needed ion. On average, you get about 60,000 ions per orb, plus or minus. So we're looking at 600,000. So for this one calendar event, we're looking about taking 2 characters from level 4 to level 5. It's a pretty good help to get people started. It's not the best finish, but with everything else, with the calendar and with the increase in the drop rates, hopefully this is going to help a lot of people. Now, we've been seeing ISOs and ion offers in the store lately, and unfortunately the price is a little high on these. They seem to be gouging people on the price. They're doing a FOMO, fear of missing out. If you don't buy this, you're not going to increase. You're not going to be able to do the Doom raid, which is still causing a lot of frustration, especially on a now mandatory section in order to get into the Doom to get the blue ISOs that they really want you to have. Somebody has released a screenshot of the calendar today as it's going to be in game. It's been released in Australia, so it must mean it's coming to most of the players today. Day 1, we're getting 10 ISO orbs. Day 2, day 4, we're going to be getting 3 ion orbs. Day 3, day 5, 15 ISO orbs on each day. Day 6, we're getting another 4 ions. And finally on day 7, 10 premium ions. Open the orbs. Hopefully you get some stuff that you need. Hopefully your premium ions are going to help you. Hopefully the ISOs will help you. So have the changes Scopely done to the ions and the ISOs player friendly, or are they a band-aid onto a bigger issue? Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the ion and ISOs, and especially the mandatory requirement that has creeped into the game that could be a future telling major changes coming to our game that we love, Marvel Strike.